Alright, so vintage preliminary event. We're 1 and 2 trying to get our money back by going 3-2. Round 4 versus Iliag. We've got a ancestral hand with Force of Will. Keep. Oh no. Oh no, chat. Is it Hollowvine or is it Dredge? I think Iliag likes Dredge. Some pitch Dredge, some pitch Dredge. Definitely want to play around Force of Negation here. I think we're just going to let them do some dredging ancestral on their turn. I guess I should have played the Underground Sea, not the Tundra. Obviously, we can really do nothing in game 1 to stop them from putting things into play like this. The best thing we can do is win. Opponent has double bridge, but they have no... Come on. They had no Cabal therapies, so they weren't going to be able to make zombies. I guess they technically still have no Cabal therapy. They found a Cabal therapy. So with the second Narcomoeba plus a bridge, they can then Ashen Rider. That's not that bad. We should be able to make it through that. I'm just going to force this because they're going to name force anyways. I'd also rather them they didn't take my PO. I'm going to get rid of this dig through time. They also might not dredge return. Alright, well, they dredge returned. Alright, so we lose a Tundra, but we have some outs. Mana Crypt is a pretty good one. I don't think they have a force. They might have a force of negation, though. Could have a Mind Break Trap. Not Mind. Yeah, I guess they could have a Mind Break Trap as well. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted putting mad dudes into play against the Cory right now. I don't think they're going to win this one. What do we draw? Force of Will? Not a great draw. We really needed a Moxen. So what can we do? We can cast Preordain, looking for a Mana Crypt. Because we are going to die on the next turn. Pretty much assured. Oh god, they had a Tabernacle? And we pitched a Wasteland? You hate to see it. Good thing we have a Petrified field. Sorry. I really want to beat the core. We're not getting another turn, so our Preordain has to hit hard. We could cast Brainstorm, but I'm pretty sure Preordain is better. We basically just need Mana Crypt. Can't really think of another card that would... I guess Lotus technically gets us some more draws. Mana Vault is a similar... Yeah, Mana Vault would do it. That'll get us to PO. Time Twister, Underground Sea. Well, neither of those cards do it. So, bottom them. Alright, we missed. Is there any way we don't die? There is not. We're on just Mentor Citadel. So against shops, against Dredge, Tabernacle, maybe Flusterstorm, Bolus's Citadel, and Blightsteel are both fine. Balance is okay. Repeal, not very good. I'm not a super fan of Mental Misstep. I think I would rather have a Flusterstorm than a Mental Misstep. I'm definitely okay with Lavinia and Teferi, and I obviously need these 4 Tormod scripts before I forget those. What do we want to bring out? What do I want to side out? I have to side out. I guess I can side out 1 island. That's for sure. I can definitely always go down to 12. This dude has killed so many of my cards. But now we're going to put 12 power Avenge Vines into play and finally end this shit. Alright, I can focus now. I'm sorry, chat. And Illig. I needed that in my life. Okay. This is not that great. I typically don't like Yogwill. It's also kind of slow, but it does rebuy Crypts, so... Hold on, chat. Just a real quick. I'm reported for dual queuing, by the way. Got him. Got him. Alright, one more card to bring out. Hop, maybe. Preordain. One of those low impact cards. Alright, let's focus on how we can try to beat some Dredge player here. It's a tough matchup. It is a little bit better than it used to be. This is... No, it's not. They're mad because I told them that they should not be rounding the clock out in their prelim event, and then I duo-queued versus them. So, how do I feel about this hand? I think this hand is reasonable. I don't really want to get Force of Vigored or Unmasked. You want to ship this hand? I don't know. Like, we can just go C, Crypt, pass. And then we have the ability to have a 3-card PO or a Crypt. It's pretty good. Every fucking line in this deck gets blown out by Force of Vigor. Force of Will or Unmask. That's the deck. It's an incredibly fragile combo deck. It has a bit too many lands. But I mean, I would definitely keep the 6. It's kind of unfortunate that the script is not an Opal or any Moxen for that matter. The biggest downside, I think, is that if I have to use the... I mean, I can't use the Crypt on turn 1, basically. It's probably not good enough. This hand is definitely better. Definitely better. It's tough, because, like, you want to play the Crypt because you don't want it to get unmasked, but you also don't want it to get Force of Vigored. And then they can play around the Crypt because they know it exists, but... I think the biggest fear is getting it unmasked, so... If they play around this, like, the best way they play around this is, like, hollow ones and stuff. So, Tabernacle's here, so it's fine. Yeah, Crypt's not super great against Dredge. Now, do we play this Tabernacle blind? There's no really reason to. They can't get it out of our hand. It's, like, okay. And in this specific matchup, it's okay. So they're gonna try to find a Force of Vigor for our Tormod's Crypt, which we would probably Force of Will to make them use their things, I would assume. 2 bridges, huh? And an Icarid. Interesting. That's a lot of value to get Tormod scripted, I think. It's interesting. Should be an interesting game. Be packing enough Dredge hate where it should actually be interesting. This balance looks pretty bad, but I think it's fine typically. You think they keep in Dredge Return Ashen Rider? I was under the impression that you do not keep in Dredge Return Ashen Rider against PO. Second Bazaar. We're getting close to the point where I have to Tormod script. Like, pitching multiple dredgers here and then bringing back Icarid. Like, then I have to actually respond and make sure that the Icarid can't come back. If they don't put in another creature, like if they have to exile Prized Amalgam to Icarid, I don't think I would pop Tormod script. I would pop it at the end of the turn with the bridge triggers on the stack. But now we're just gonna get 3 Icarids and 2 bridges? Getting 3 Icarids and having a Tabernacle in my hand is like, that's good enough for me. They're gonna like go really hard now because they have double Bazaar. I'm surprised they didn't Bazaar in their upkeep, so they can have an extra Dredge. Pitching Hollow one and 1 Dredger and not activate. Interesting. Everything that's happening here is very interesting. I don't exactly know why it's happening. I don't really have anything going for me, but... Illig's made some interesting lines that I don't quite understand, but I don't have full knowledge of. They didn't activate again. They must have Force of Will, and they're trying to, like, preserve their Force of Will. That's the only thing I can think of. But they had like 3 cards, right? They didn't need to pitch all the hollowed ones. It's very odd. They just... Very, very odd. So now they have Amalgam, Therapy, no Bridges. Corey went 0-3 and got a bye. No, Illig wouldn't do that, so I'm not worried about it. I think they have a force. Maybe even a force of negation or something, but... The classic Monastery Mentor Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale combo deck. Alright, Illig did not want to battle the Tabernacle after losing 3 Icarids, which is fair. So we get to go to game 3. Do we want to change any of our plans here? Do we want to change any of our plans here? Maybe this isn't as good as I mean, I really like the ability to go like multiple Moxen. Maybe that's just not very good. Do people play balance? I think Misstep's really bad. Why do you like Misstep? Like, if you're hitting a Cabal Therapy, are you really winning the game? I'm not sure. I haven't really found, like, the only thing it does is hit other Missteps. Is P9 in? Does P9 like balance at all in this matchup? I've had some success with it in the past. The nice part about Yogg-Will is it does bring back Tormod scripts. Let's just try that. That's fine. Yeah. I think, like, you have 5 targets, right? 4 Cabal Therapies and a Misstep. I actually just don't think having the Misstep in versus Dredge is worth it. If you're not, like, actively hitting, like, targets in the opponent's hand, I don't think it's... this hand I'm keeping, hilariously enough. Tabernacle is just that good. Right. This is certainly an awkward hand, but Tabernacle really is only bad against Icarid, so man, the Probe Dredge and the Seeing of the Tabernacle. Damn, brutal. Are they hitting Archimedes while they're at it? Chose to draw. Oh no, they chose to Dredge. Okay. Interesting. They can kill me with Icarids. Is the best way to beat Tabernacle. And if they kept in Ashen Rider. You typically do not keep an Ashen Rider versus PO, but PO typically does not play Tabernacle. So you might want to board it back in after seeing my Tabernacle. Man, I could totally use some Moxen here. Alright. Interesting. Get a Moxen. I guess there's like no real reason to play the Moxen. There's no real reason to play the Tabernacle either, though. Well, they didn't play a hollowed one because they knew I had a Tabernacle in my hand because they cast Cataxian Probe. This Cataxian Probe, fair and balanced magic card. No, it's all good. Alright, so are we dredging? Our one Shambling Shell? I'm having a hard time finding out. No, people don't really play fast bond decks anymore. Zeus kind of took a break, so without the leading pioneer there, people haven't been playing fast bond decks. I think all the fast bond decks are like kind of meh, so... It was kind of a fad with Fast Bond getting unrestricted, but the card is, like, serviceable but not great. Without Gush to break it, I think it's just whatever. So what did they do? Did they dredge? I think they just drew 2 cards, discarded Icarid Shell. So they're going to try to kill me with Icarids here. There's really no reason for me to force a hollow one when I'm going to play Tabernacle on the next turn. Oh, I guess that would be a reason to play Force of Will. I mean, I'm just going to force the therapy too, so... I think this is... I don't know. Maybe it's not better. I guess they could have drawn Force of Will here, and then they're going to take something. I don't know. Now they don't have a therapy in their yard. I don't know. That's a good draw. I accept that draw. Kind of awkward. I can't cast Mystical unless... I guess I don't really need to play Tabernacle this turn. I'm just going to get hit for 2. I would much rather Mystical for... What am I even Mystical foring? There's actually like nothing left in my deck to Mystical for, right? Twist? Is that good? I just want a Yogwill next turn. I don't actually think I care about Mysticaling, right? I guess if I want a Yogwill next turn, I do want to play Misty Rainforest, though. So this is fine, I think. But I have to play Tabernacle next turn, so I don't really know if that works out the way I want it to. I mean, this 2 damage shouldn't be a big deal, because if we take 8 and go to 9, and then we would take 6. We don't really change the clock at all. They brought back 1 Icarid. Oh, I guess I have this fetch land too. I didn't really do the math. I probably should have done the math. So opponent's looking for another therapy, right? That would get our force and our PO because I want to protect my Yogwill with a Ancestral in my yard. We know they have double Narcomoebas in their hand, so they could easily have found Force of Will. But we have our own force. Is there anything really worthwhile here? We could put a Time Walk. Cast Time Walk, and then we have a Time Walk with our Yogwill. Does that really get us anywhere besides putting a Time Walk in our yard? But actually, we really want to put a Time Walk in our yard. We could just tinker for a Bolus of Citadel and try to win the game off 11 life. It's like pretty reasonable, right? Just tinker this Opal away. I guess tinker the Jet away makes more sense. I gotta be careful with my life total if I do that, but I could also just Demonic for a Mentor, but a Tabernacle Mentor is not exactly a combo, but they shouldn't be able to beat it. I could Demonic for a Tormod's Crypt. It's kind of lit too. Put a Demonic on top, cast Demonic, cast Tormod's Crypt. Yeah, that actually works, I think. Let's do that. I think I have enough mana to do all the things that I want to do. I'll have to find out. cast Demonic. They couldn't have drawn, like, multiple forces, right? Cast Demonic, get a Tormod's Crypt, cast Tormod's Crypt, activate Metalcraft, gets 4 mana, exiles their... Oh, they did find a force. There's also a Blightsteel in my deck. Get a black mana, get 3 blue mana, activate this. Yeah, you're not wrong. I think this is... I just have a feeling that this line is better. I, like, get 2 Tormod's Crypts and Tabernacle them. Like, I can't ever lose from here, right? I think this line is better than Blightsteel by, like, a decent amount. We just play the control deck by demonicking for Crypt and having double Crypt Tabernacle. I like how we played this. So I could just vamp for Tinker and put a Blightsteel. Yeah, that's fine. I guess I should have represented a blue mana. Alright, so now I have a Blightsteel, I've got a Tormod's Crypt, I have a Tabernacle, I have Indestructible. Even if I didn't, I have plenty of mana. I don't even have to pay for this. Got this Indestructible. GG's, Illig. GG's. Alright, that was sweet. That last game was actually really interesting. I thought the lines you could take there were pretty cool.